Microsoft also states their audience profile for this exam, so responsibilities for this role include performing advanced data analytics at scale, designing and building enterprise data models, incorporating advanced analytics capabilities, integrating with IT, and so on. I think it's also important to note that they are really there to allow that collaboration between the different specialists. So between the data engineers and data admins and the solution architects. So it's really a broadly defined role, also depending on the maturity of your organization when it comes to the whole cloud movement. And it's also, of course, important that a candidate for the exam must have advanced Power BI skills, including managing data repositories and data processing in the cloud and on-premises, using Power Query and DAX. And they should also be proficient in consuming data from Azure Synapse Analytics and have experience with querying relational databases, analyzing data using T-SQL statements, and visualizing data. Quite a lot. Now, where does this exam sit in the ecosystem of different services? Well, it exactly focuses on how they all work together. How you start with loading the data on the left side through a data lake or Databricks, through a SQL server, through a data factory, and so on, and then use Azure to really have that overview of where all the data is coming from and do that initial analysis. Then we have Azure DevOps that ensures that throughout the process we work with the best practices that we can use for developing and collaborating. Power BI directly integrates with Azure Synapse, but you can also use Synapse as a data source. So Power BI is really the data visualization, not so much focused on really a place where you all store the data. And throughout that development of those reports, we can use these external development tools like DAX Studio and Tabular Editor to help us in that development, and also use Azure Purview for our data governance needs. Make sure that everything is, for example, GDPR compliant. Make sure that we have the overview of all the different data sets at all time. So that's where the DP-500 exam really comes into play, combining all those different elements, and as a data analyst, being aware of the different services that you can use to help with your development. That's about it for this section. So we really just wanted to explain the role of where we think the cloud data analyst sits within the different set of roles in a company and IT environment. Next, we'll move on to the more advanced topics. So these are really topics that we will cover in depth with also a lot of practice questions. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you in the next section. Hi there, in this video we will talk about how to set up an Azure Synapse Workspace, and we will also show you how it integrates so well with Microsoft Power BI. Let's get started by creating our Synapse Workspace in the Azure portal. Now, when you create your Synapse Workspace for the first time, it will ask you a couple of things. It will ask you to indicate the subscription account, also the resource group, and then it will ask you to specify the workspace name. Also ask you to select a data lake storage Gen 2 account so that it's able to save that data as part of the serverless SQL pool. But we will talk about that in a later stage. Next, we'll click on security. Now, when you create a Synapse workspace, you automatically create a SQL pool, either a dedicated one or a serverless. You can configure this later on, but you will have to specify the login details already. So we will just say info, and then we'll provide a password. We can specify whether we want network access or not. Click on networking. We'll leave the settings blank for now. We will
deselect this one as so that not all IP addresses are able to connect. Then we'll click on tags. No, we can just leave that by default. And then we will create the Synapse Workspace, and we automatically see the cost that's incurred per terabyte. So click on create. All right, so we are in our Azure Synapse Workspace, and we've opened Azure Synapse Studio. Now, we immediately see a couple of actions that we can perform. So we can either ingest or load data. We can explore and analyze our data lake using those T-SQL statements, or we can directly visualize our data using the Power BI integration. So I've already connected to a Power BI workspace, but in fact it's quite easy. So you just click on the visualize button here, and then it will ask you to select a workspace, and it will actually state the data set directly. So here you can go ahead and then also go to the existing workspace and start creating new reports based on your existing data. But we'll cover that in a minute. Let's first actually explore the different components of Azure Synapse Studio. So we have data. Here we have all the data that is loaded to our workspace. I'll close this for a second. Let's see. So you see, it's already integrated with the things that I've done in the past. It's like, like you would work in SQL Server Management. It's exactly the same. So you have your data that's loaded to your workspace, and you also have the linked services displayed here. In the Develop tab, you can run all kinds of SQL statements, and you can also have those notebook capabilities. So you might be familiar with Jupyter Notebook. Well, you actually have the same, but then the Apache Spark Notebook in Synapse, which allows you to not only load the data, but after loading the data, immediately perform some data analysis using Python, for example. And then you also see Power BI, because I've already went and connected to a Power BI workspace. So it will show my linked service here, and it will also show my dataset and my reports. So I'll discuss that in a minute. Here we have integrate. So this allows us to integrate with an existing pipeline that we might have. And then we have two general tabs. So we have the monitor tab, where we can check the pipeline runs that we performed and all the SQL requests and Apache Spark applications that we have and that we ran. And we also have an overview of the different pools that we created. The Manage tab shows again this integration with the different services like Microsoft Purview, and here again Apache Spark. But most importantly is the linked services here. So this actually allows you to get the data from different services, not just Microsoft services, but also, for example, an Amazon Redshift, a Snowflake account, and so on. And you can actually combine all those different data sources and display them into one single platform. And this is really the advantage of Synapse. So if we go to linked services, we'll click on new to just get the different options here. So we have Amazon RDS and then also Amazon Redshift. You see there's a bunch of different services that we can connect to. Important for us as a data analyst is, of course, we can also get the Power BI datasets that we have access to. And then it will ask us, okay, so you're in a specified tenant. What kind of workspace do you want to connect to? So we've already went ahead and did that. So let's actually take a look and see how we can actually start creating or customizing our visuals directly in Synapse. And so we click on the Power BI report. And you actually see that you have the report right here in Synapse. So it's directly integrated with the Power BI web service. You can even access the data and you can start, let's see, we can create I don't think we can create measures, right? No, we cannot. So it seems that you cannot create measures, but what you can do, of course, is like adjust certain things. So maybe you want this a bit more to the right and this a bit larger. And we can then again publish to our workspace to have that change. So this truly allows for collaboration. You can imagine that a data architect or a data scientist might be involved with really the early stage of the process, so loading the data, building that structure, and then delivering that data ready for analytics to maybe a Power BI data analyst. And then they can really have those discussions around, okay, this is the kind of data that I want to see. It's not really displayed like this right now. What kind of changes do we want to perform? So really cool that they've managed to integrate this so well. So hopefully this already gave you some kind of understanding on how these things all work together. But yeah, I would say connect to your own workspace, see the possibilities, and maybe also explore how this might be relevant for your organization. Let's move on to the next topic.